Let's get more on one of our top stories today, the meeting of governors from the Southeast and South-South and Southwest on the state of the nation and insecurity affecting the country, especially in the southern region. To give us more perspective into the situation and likely focus of the discussions is the Commissioner for Information from Akwa Ibom State, Ini Obong, whose governor is attending this meeting. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you. So, no doubt, insecurity is the center of discussions today in Abuja as well as Asaba, where the southern governors have been meeting. And now President Buhari has announced new measures to tackle the menace in the southeast and south-south. How do you think this will change the narrative?
With the announcement of the new measures being undertaken, approved by the president to be executed by security forces, the first thing to do is that a debriefing must happen, which must be de-escalated from the echelon to the field commanders, who are the governors and the commissioners of police. I trust that the information flow would go in that direction because the governors who are titular chief security officers of their state must be given more powers. In the circumstance like they are meeting in Asaba now, you know that something has brought them a common situation which is flowing through the entire southern part of the country, has brought all of them to the dialogue table. And they are concerned because they cannot, as responsible leaders, just sit and fold their arms and see daily lives lost, property destroyed in their states. No responsible governor can do that. And so southern governors have decided to meet, and with the new measures approved by the president, which the Inspector General of Police has kept under wraps, of course, because that's security matters. We trust that in sync with the governors and the commissioners of police and other security and intelligence chiefs that we hope to find some respite, because the situation we find in this country at this time is that where daily all we find is bad news, all we hear is bad news, and no governor is happy. In Akwa Ibom State, where I come from, yesterday His Excellency the Governor had to physically go to the police headquarters in Ikorok-Manabia, where he addressed officers and men of the Nigerian police to also boost their morale. They are humans. They are human beings. When they sign up, when they are signed up for the duty of being security operatives, yes, they knew they were putting themselves in harm's way, but they didn't just think that they were pushing themselves to be sacrificed in the way they are being sacrificed today. And therefore, His Excellency the Governor had to step in on their ground, speak with them, not just the officers, not just the senior officers, but even the men and the field operatives who were there. And he charged them. And by the time he left there, their morals were a bit better. So the new, because I'm sure that security operatives have seen the operational mode, the modus operandi of the criminal elements, and therefore reviews were ongoing. And we hope that the new approved tactics would handle this and nip them in the bud.
Okay. Well, back to today's meeting in Asaba, is there likely to be a joint security network across the southern states in light of the upsurge in violence?
Well, that's a discussion for the governors and at their level. And you already know that there's the Amotekun in the southwest. You also do know that there's the Bubagu in the southeast. And you just heard the news of the vigilante in Edo. Different states have adopted different measures because the challenges are also different. There may not be a one-size-fits-all security approach to the entire southern Nigeria security problem. So different states have different problems and also have different ways of solving those problems. But what I am sure will come out of their discussion today is a renewed resolve to stand up as one to fight the common enemy of insecurity. It does nobody any good. But on the flip side, it also goes to reinforce the demand for state police, because all of these other sectional groups would not have been there if governors had the power and states had the power to operate a state police. So I'm sure that the resolve to fight on one front, the resolve to lock hands together and fight the common enemy of insecurity will be one of their resolutions today. But all of them are very experienced. Most of them are second-term governors, very experienced with security issues in their states. I trust that the outcome of that meeting will be what will be best for the entire southern Nigeria.
All right, let's look at past meetings. Last week, the governors held a virtual meeting where they called for an end to divisive tendencies among Nigerians. What do you think is likely to be the strategy to preach peace?
The first strategy is that we must not politicize insecurity. It's the wrongest thing to do. Insecurity is insecurity and must not assume a political dimension. It mustn't assume an ethnic dimension. It must be called by its baptismal name, insecurity. Because when insecurity occurs and law and order fails, anybody becomes a victim. Any and everybody will become a victim. Therefore, the politicization of insecurity must leave the rhetoric. We mustn't fan the embers of divisive rhetoric. At this point, we must rise as a country, as a people, and look at the unity of our nation, look at the security of lives and property, which is the basic responsibility of any responsible government. The day government is unable, recall that in the social contract theory, people submitted their individual sovereignty into a collective pool that is administered by government in the hope and aspiration that government will be able to protect them. So immediately government is unable to protect them, it therefore threatens the social contract theory. And that's the root of every government. That's the root of legitimacy of political governance. And therefore, at a time like this, nobody should please politicize. And that's, that was the resolution of the virtual meeting, that we should handle insecurity as insecurity. Meeting in Asaba today, no one is talking about political parties there. Everyone is talking about the lives and property of citizens. Where you wake up every morning and all you find on newspapers are screaming headlines of people losing lives and property being burnt, security assets being destroyed. So we must extricate the politicization of insecurity. It's a critical element that must be, and therefore we must form a rhetoric that is that promotes our unity, not that which talks about our division. After all, the issues that unite us are a lot more than those that divide us.
All right, well said. We'll keep tracking that to get the outcome of the meeting. We'll leave it there now. Thank you so much for your time on the program. Ini Obong, you are the Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.